Really? Sleeping at a time like this? Repeat after me. 3, 2, 1. Come on.
Huh? Where am I?
Goodness, have you already forgotten? Why, this is the Genshin Impact version 2.5 special program.
Yay!
Hey everyone, Sean here, and today in this video I wanted to share my thoughts and sort of everything about... Hey everyone, Sean here, and today I wanted to go over what happened with the live stream with Genshin Impact 2.5 and everything else around it, with including Ayato, and my opinions and thoughts about it for the things we're about to talk about in this video. But before we go into all of that, I would be really appreciated if you guys can hit the like and perhaps subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos such as this. It really helps out and I do really appreciate it, and of course you're free to share your comments about today's subject in the comment section below about 2.5 and everything else related. Anyway, so let's just talk about the story that's going to be presented here, and of course the enemies and stuff like that, starting with the Husks, the Shadow Husks. Kind of funny that we've been hearing this name around in several sort of places, but here in this case, we have a new enemy with the Husks. They kind of look like just shadowy demon, not demon, but like magic knights that are pretty slow, but they do have some interesting things. One of them apparently will be able to generate a shield for himself or itself and create more clones of itself if your character has a shield. So in other words, they're really trying to shake up the shield meta right now, seems like, because you know, characters like Zhongli are very powerful and make the game very, very easy when you have them on your team. They're really trying to shake it up, you know, especially with the wolves, right, that bleed, that go right through your shield and make you bleed, so make it kind of useless, but it's still good to have that shield to, well, shield everything else around you. And then you have someone like Jean or Barbara to insta-heal you, you know, your entire team, and to pretty much cover said bleeding with Jean's, you know, circle, and then Barbara's little circle around herself and her teammates, kind of prevents the bleeding in a little more ways than one, depending on your healing effectiveness and stuff like that. But anyway, they're really trying to shake that meta up. So I think it's interesting. I don't know if this will be the make or breaker, you know, sort of way to shake that meta up, but they're really trying. That's definitely I think that's pretty much true, that they're trying to, you know, change it up for the sake of having you resort to other characters rather than just always having Zhongli like myself. So, because I can't help it, his shield is really powerful. It's very strong. You're pretty much invincible when you have that shield up, and it stays up for a pretty long time in comparison to others. Diana's shield doesn't last as long, although granted, I don't have her fully built. Same with Toma, I don't have him fully built, so I can't say how good their shields are fully. But with Zhongli, it's insane. Up next, we do have Yae Miko, the character I really, really am excited for, pretty much because of her aesthetics, her personalities, what she brings to the table in terms of those things. I really like her design as well. I mean, she's a kitsune, pretty much, or Kyuubi, to be more specific, type of goddess. So she looks really cool in that regard. Her kit seems to be pretty basic as a electro DPS. This time she puts down turrets that generate lightning, and her burst just brings down one big lightning strike. So pretty straightforward, it seems like. I guess depending on what kind of, or how many pillars or the turrets you have on the field, I think it increases damage or something like that. And she even scales off of elemental mastery once you gain her passive talents. and she can craft more books, I think, somehow, as one of her other passive abilities. And that's pretty much all there is to it, in short word. But I am excited for her, and I do want to pull for her just because of those things, not necessarily because, oh, I need her for gameplay reasons. You know, another electro DPS would be nice, I guess. I already have Raiden covering that. I can have official, you know, fully built or updated, I should say, to do that as well, potentially. But other than that, Yae Miko isn't really all that special, I guess, in terms of gameplay, but her charm, her everything else is what makes her, you know, that kind of special character. I'm definitely excited for her. I've been saving up my gems for her. I really want her, and so yeah, so I'm gonna be rolling for her when she comes around. I think in like 2 weeks or something like that, as we make this video. So next one up, we do have the new boss, Raiden Shogun, you know, in a different form. It's very cool looking. I would definitely say very badass, very, well, godlike, definitely. Now, we definitely don't know the story behind it, so I definitely can't wait to see what's happening. Is it her twin that's, you know, taking over, trying to take over, or is it her other half, or something like that? Or could it be from Scaramouche, since in the story, I believe he was handed Raiden Shogun's Geonosis from Yae Miko as a bargaining thing to, well, save the Traveler's life, essentially. So she had to give it up to save the Traveler, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So it could make sense, you know, probably using that Geonosis to clone her somehow or make something out of it, and that's what we got. But what it really sounds like is something within Shogun that's been, you know, holding back or being or was dormant, lying dormant for, you know, a pretty long time until now, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, yes, of course, like everyone, I really like the outfit or the design on this version of Raiden Shogun, and if that becomes an alternate costume at some point, maybe I might actually, you know, spend my crystals on that, or yeah, my Genesis crystals on that one, perhaps. But well, I'm not gonna hold my breath on it. We'll have to see how that works out. Now, we do have the mini events or mini game events, such as the drinking one, where you can make drinks. I think they're for the most part non-alcoholic in this case, you know, because you're making coffee and stuff like that, at least in this demonstration here. But for the most part, though, it's really not much to it. You just hit a bunch of buttons correctly, and there you go. That's how you make your drinks. There is another one, which is essentially like Mario Maker, where you can make your own sort of challenge or dungeon or whatever, with obstacles that you can set up for yourself to your liking and share it to others, which is really cool for people who make content, who want to try out other people's level designs and put them on stream for the sake of their own content, but to, you know, share others as well, to maybe, you know, perhaps give them some sort of exposure as well. So it's just another way to interact with the audience, and of course the audience interacting with the content creator as well, or the streamer. I think it's a really cool way, you know, to have that. But too bad it's just a mini game event, so it'll go away in 2 weeks or something like that. It's not permanent. Maybe it will be, I don't know, but likely these things are always temporary and they will go away. Kind of sucks. I wish it was just like DLC for the PC users, you know, for them to have fun with forever, pretty much. We do have one returning event, which is the Combat Trails, I think it's called. It's the one where you can rotate with between two characters, or rotate between duos throughout these levels. You can have buffs for each of those duos, and you're essentially rotating between different enemies and fighting them. And it's pretty cool fun. When those events come around, it's just a ways for you to come up with combinations of just 2 characters rather than 4, and you also get to try out characters that you don't have in your roster. So that's a really nice way to have players, you know, given the chance to do so, And I look forward to this one since it is not only more free gems, but also a way for me to, well, try out the other characters, or just be able to get my hands on the other characters I don't have again in this sort of event. They even dropped some hints for 2.6 with the Chasm, which is another part of a new area. I think within Enkonomia. I have to look up on that one, or look deeper into that one. But I believe for the most part it is a new area for Enkonomia, called the Chasm, and there's like different parts of the Chasm, I believe, from what it sounds like. But it's a new area for us to explore, so I can't wait. It's more story and stuff like that, I'm sure, and there are going to be some new returning characters. There's going to be some more stuff coming along our way when it comes to the story. And I think that might be around the time where we get to see Raiden Shogun, the boss, or the weekly boss version. Either that or much earlier. Now there is one last important reveal that happened around 2.5 live stream rather than within it. And that is, of course, Ayato. I wanted to share my opinion about Ayato as we were able to see him officially from the Genshin Impact Twitter, at least, or in everywhere else, I guess. I think overall he looks pretty cool. Not super mind-blowing or anything like that. You know, a lot of people kind of been split with him because they had some expectations that were very different. They wanted him to look more like Ayaka, funny enough, but he doesn't look like Ayaka, and people are still complaining for different reasons now. You know, some say he doesn't look Japanese, or his outfit doesn't look Japanese, while actually it does. It borrows a lot of elements from Japanese outfits, but it also blends with other stuff as well. So it's inspired from Japanese outfits, including from, you know, back in the day with some of the samurais, right, the warriors, but not only that, like the daimyo and the monks and all that stuff, like the long draping sleeve and everything. That's very much Japanese. I don't know where they're coming from with that. It's got a blend of a lot of things, which is why, yes, right, you know, on the surface level, I guess you can say it's not completely Japanese, and yet there are things that are obviously inspired from Japanese elements in Japanese outfits. Now, yes, the bottoms, the pants, are pretty like ambiguous, I guess you can say. So maybe that's where it's coming in. It does have a combination of like, it's like a combination of like a Japanese outfit and a tuxedo, I guess you can say, to, well, enhance what he's supposed to be. Very handsome, you know, regal, you know, that sort of thing. He is the head of the Kamisato clan, so I guess they had to like kind of spice it up a little bit. You know, this is a different world, so this isn't exactly like Japan, so to say. And you have to remember that also, you know, you have foreigners coming in, you know, from different regions, different places, well, just like Japan went through as well during the feudal period. So that's why the outfit sort of changed a little bit over time, until at some point it changed completely. So, I mean, this is a fantasy world, so I don't know why people are making a big fuss about it. I mean, it does have Japanese elements in there, point being. So, anyways, I don't know if I'm going to roll for him right away. I don't know what his role is going to be completely. From what it sounds like, he is going to be a Hydro Claymore user. Now we know he's Hydro for sure because of the symbol, but the Claymore part, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I have to see what he visually looks like when he's fighting, in order for me to be convinced whether to pull for him or not, or save my gems or whatever or not. I would like to see that soon, so I can know whether to spend all my gems for Yae Miko or not, or save as soon as I get her, hopefully. You know, or whether to roll for the weapon banner or not to get the weapon for Yae Miko. I think for the most part though, from the surface level, I'm probably going to skip just because I don't really feel the need for a Hydro Claymore user. I would have preferred to have a Hydro Sword user, but that's just me anyway. I mean, from what it sounds like what too, word on the street is that pretty much his ultimate is going to be kind of similar to that of Arataki Ito, where the element will be infused to his sword and you just attack faster essentially. Same with Raiden Shogun, same thing there. The electro sword, swing faster, you know what I mean? Obviously they all have different effects and stuff like that, but the main direction is all the same for the most part, infusing that element that they have onto their whatever weapon. Now he could be something else. The weapon he could be using during the ult could be different from his other weapon, right? So he could be a polearm user like Raiden Shogun. He could be a sword user, right? We don't know. He could be a bow user for all we know. So we technically have another Hydro DPS bow user like Child, for example. Well, he kind of is a special exception, I guess. But point being, he could be that sort of character. But I think for the most part, for what it sounds like, I think he's going to be a Hydro Claymore DPS character. So, yeah. If he was a sword user, I would have had much more of a temptation to roll or save gems for him, because I kind of want a character like that, especially Hydro, because we don't have too many Hydro DPS characters besides just Child, so that's why that would be really cool. But you know, a Claymore user, I've definitely seen enough of them in my roster anyway, I guess. So kind of wanted something a little different, unless his attacks look really cool, they're pretty fast or something like that, him being able to apply Hydro pretty often, then that could change my opinion. But for right now, you know, from the aesthetics of things, I think he looks pretty good. Not something I'm really like, oh my god, he looks so cool or badass or anything like that. Nothing for me to cling on to design wise. But maybe once the story rolls out, we see him talk, and the story for him in 2.6 or whatever, or 2.5 even, I'm not too sure, that could change things, right? We'll see about that. We'll see how good he is, or how good he looks when he's fighting and all that fun stuff. I haven't seen the videos for that part, but for the word on the street when it comes to, you know, his kit and everything, yeah, I'm not really 100% for things right now. So that is pretty much all we have for the big ones, right? Nothing too new otherwise. For everything else, I don't think we were gonna get a new artifact set. I think we can definitely try to just farm Thundering Fury for Yae Miko, but I'll have to look into that. I'll be sure to, you know, keep an eye on that one. So, but anyways, that's my opinion for 2.5. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for this video on the Hog Talks. Really looking forward to Yae Miko when her banner comes out, because I'm definitely gonna roll for her again. When it comes to pity, I'm on soft pity, and I'm actually really close, because I actually have been summoning a lot on Ito's banner in the past when he was out, and because I was trying to get Goro as high as I could with his constellations, but to somewhat no avail, I guess you can say. I think I have him either in a C1 or C2 for Goro, but not too high anyway. Not to C4 anyway. That's the one I wanted, but didn't happen. But anyway, I built up a lot of pity during that time, so that's why for this part, it won't take too long when I start on Yae Miko's banner. And then I use hopefully I can get her with all the leftover gems. Because if I don't get her from the soft pity, then I'm guaranteed. So I'm probably going to sink in some money at that point. So and plus the top up bonus is still there for me. So yeah, I guess all the more optimized, I guess you can say. But anyway, don't forget to drop any comments or anything like that if you have any in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. It's because it's really helpful. And yeah, so that's my thoughts on 2.5 or Genshin Impact and everything else around it, including Ayato. So what do you guys think? I wanted to know in the comment section below. Alright, thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao now.